Hello and welcome, dear friends, to another edition of Umuntu, a special economic development program devoted to free ideas for promoting fairness and human well-being in Malawi. The role of political leaders and ordinary citizens, how Malawi can get a foothold on the development ladder, and what holds back development progress in Malawi are some of the questions we tackle in this program. There'll be a slight change in today's episode. Dr. Richard Romo, who is one of my colleagues, requested to hear my views about shortage of corn in Malawi, hence this episode. It is his idea and he will host today's episode. But before I hand over to Richard, I regret to inform our listeners that we got hacked. The hackers turned off comments on our YouTube channel. Also, they hacked our Facebook account, which we use for disseminating the links to our YouTube channel. We are not able to access our Facebook account anymore. It's gone. Whoever is doing this is destructive. We implore them to find better ways of spending their time. Now let me hand over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Dambulla, and welcome to you all who are listening to this program right now. Dr. Dambulla does not introduce himself when he hosts programs on this channel. Today, I'll take this opportunity to introduce him. Dr. Crispin Dambulla is a development expert and scholar who is widely published in the field of international development. He holds an MA and a PhD from the United States and a BSc from the University of Malawi. Besides his academic responsibilities, he sits on the board of directors for Allied Cultures International Organization based in USA. Today, we're focusing on a critical concern in Malawi, the scarcity of corn in Admarc depots across the country. Let's jump right in. Let's start by understanding the context. Crispin, could you explain why corn is so significant for Malawians?
Sure. Corn or maize is a staple food in Malawi, deeply intertwined with our culture and diets. It's a source of sustenance for millions, and any disruption in its availability can have severe consequences.
And that's exactly what's happening right now. Reports suggest that there's a shortage of corn in Admarc depots across the country. What's causing this shortage?
The issue seems to be multifaceted. While factors like weather and crop yield play a role, there are concerns about transparency and communication from the government. The National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, is responsible for storing and distributing essential commodities like corn, but there is lack of clarity regarding the actual corn reserves and availability.
Right. Minister of Agriculture Samuel Kawale has faced criticism for not providing accurate information about the corn reserves. How does this impact the situation?
Lack of transparency and honesty from the government can exacerbate the problem. It creates confusion and prevents effective planning and decision-making. This issue has even prompted bipartisan action from the members of parliament, which highlights its urgency.
So is the lack of honesty from Minister Kawale a political move?
It could be. Unfortunately, politics can intertwine with critical issues like food security. Misleading information can potentially misguide the president and hinder effective responses.
That's alarming, especially considering the magnitude of the crisis. With no corn in the NFRA storage reserves, what can be done to address this situation?
First and foremost, acknowledging the problem is crucial. If Minister Kawale can admit the shortage, it could prompt swift actions from both the legislative and executive branches, including the president. This might lead to declaration of a state of emergency, enabling the government to seek international support to save lives.
And how can international support make a difference?
Foreign aid and assistance can provide immediate relief in terms of food aid and resources. In addition, it can support long-term solutions such as investing in agricultural infrastructure and practices to enhance food security.
So it's not just about addressing the immediate crisis, but also about building resilience for the future.
That's right. A comprehensive approach is necessary to prevent such crises from recurring in the future. This requires collaboration between the government, international partners, and local communities.
It's clear that this issue is deeply interconnected. We hope that transparency and effective communication will prevail, and the necessary steps will be taken to alleviate the suffering of Malawians.
Absolutely. It's time for all stakeholders to come together and prioritize the well-being of the people.
Thank you for shedding light on this critical issue, Crispin. We hope for positive change in Malawi.
Thank you, Richard, for asking constructive questions. Indeed, we hope for a better future for Malawians. And special thanks to our dear listeners for tuning in. If you are an expert in food security, economic development, human rights, or any other development-related areas, contact us to be our guest. Our email address is umuntu.mw@africapabilities.org. That's it for today's episode. Until next week when we shall bring you another edition of Umuntu. My name is Crispin Dambulla. Stay informed and stay engaged. Bye for now.